Cincinnati's offense, Greg Jennings here. Cincinnati's offense averaged 28 points a game, and Burrow led the league in yards per game, putting up almost 275 every time he was out there. Didn't yield a ton of wins, but T. Higgins still delighted in his offense. Take a listen.
One guy ain't got to do it by himself. You know what I mean? He got two guys out there that can get open, and win the game. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, so all I can say is really it's special. You know what I mean? Not too many teams are able to get that type of duo or trio, as you would say, and so we try to keep it around as long as we can.
All right, so look at this graphic. When scoring over 30 last year, the Bengals won 3 games and lost 4. The rest of the NFL won 96 games and lost 10.
Yeah.
So it tied the record for the most such losses. AFC North predictions are coming up. But, Brew, how dangerous are the Bengals?
Moderately dangerous.
Moderately.
They could make the playoffs. With that offense, they could. And, Nick, I know you've talked about it's going to be hard to duplicate that offense.
Yeah.
They were only 6th in scoring offense last year. 27 a game.
That's
right?
fair point.
They could definitely average 27 or more. Now, that was the most they've ever averaged with Burrow, but still, they could do that. And I think their defense will improve enough where they'll have a chance for the playoffs. But that's why I say moderately dangerous, because if they get there, Baltimore, Kansas City, and Buffalo are all going to have top of the league defenses, top 10 defenses. And so I think those defenses will not let Burrow score every time he has the ball, which they're going to have to do a lot of to win some of these games. Whereas Cincinnati's defense will have more trouble stopping those 3 quarterbacks. So I think if they get to the playoffs, one of those teams will beat them because of the defense.
I think this is a very dangerous team. Last year, they were a dangerous team because we identified they can score. This team can score. It's like going to a fight and you got your crew with you, and you get into a fight, and I'm with Nick. Nick decides not to fight.
You might get in a fight. If you go out with Nick, you might get in a fight.
We get into a fight, and Nick don't want to fight with me.
I would fight with you.
I'm not saying you wouldn't. I'm saying you don't.
Okay.
And then going.
I don't know how much
the next time I go, just like the Bengals this year, I already got in my mind he's not gonna fight, so I got to do a little bit more. That's the Bengals. That's the Bengals. When you listen to T. Higgins, he's not even thinking about his defense anymore. Last year it was frustrating. Defense, man, hit somebody. Now they don't even look. We just gonna outscore you. When you have that mentality, I was on a team that averaged 35 points a game in 2011 with the Packers. We went 15-1 that year. We didn't win it all. Clearly, you guys know, but it was that mindset. We didn't care what the defense did. It doesn't matter. We're going to outscore you. That was our mentality and philosophy. I know they presented that last year, but they were frustrated because they were hoping their defense did a little bit more.
Can they win the AFC like that? I agree they can be dangerous, but can they win the AFC as they are?
Absolutely.
Okay. I like that.
So, and
I like that a lot.
Just to be clear, I would fight with you. I'm not claiming I'm a great fighter, but I think got some experience.
I think he's saying
he's
it's
a
not
willing
about
fighter.
You're trying hard. He's just saying you're not going to be that efficient when it comes to
that's
the
not what he was saying.
fight.
He knows after a few seconds
he's got to do a little bit more.
Last year they
showed up and the defense was like, "We're out of here. You're on your own." And so now they're showing up and they're like, "All right, I got to know." And I'm just saying I wouldn't be that guy. I'm just letting you know. I'd be in this analogy. I'm Trey Hendrickson. I'm giving my all. I'm still good for it. But all right, now, listen. Brew has brought up I have brought up Drew Brees in relation to Brock Purdy, and Brew has brought up. Listen, Drew Brees went 7-9 a bunch of times. I think that applies more to Joe Burrow than to Purdy, this is not an indictment on Burrow or that offense, but 3 straight years, Drew Brees averaged 5,000 yards a season, 34 touchdowns, a 100 passer rating. 7-9, 7-9, 7-9. Now, nobody dare question Sean Payton's coaching. We would not do that like we do Zach Taylor. However, I'm just saying, you didn't. There's nothing you could do. You only is allowed to coach the one side of the ball. I don't know why they changed the rules, I guess. I don't know. But that, to me, is more applicable in that we are typically, if you have a quarterback that good, your team is just in it. But not always. No, right. And Breeze is a great example of it. And so your guys' team with Aaron, I know you guys didn't have a great defense, but you guys lost a tough playoff game. You guys were a great team. This feels, to me, a lot of like do it all over again, and to where, yes, Brew, last year people thought they were dangerous. There was a whole media cycle of the Chiefs are scared of them. The Chiefs are going to throw the Week 18 to prevent these guys from getting in the playoffs.
I think that was a fair take.
Okay.
They just matched up well.
The one thing, I'm not going as far as Greg, but I do think one of the benefits for them, they're not afraid of anybody. They've obviously beaten the Chiefs in the playoffs. So they are a tough matchup for the Chiefs and the Ravens.
Well, so that's
you saw last year they played them tough.
Thing, and this is where I think their offseason moves might come against them. I know everybody decided Lou Anarumo was the problem. You know who was the happiest team in the league that they got rid of Lou Anarumo? The best team in the AFC. Because what is true is we think back to those playoff games about like Burrow out-dueling Mahomes. Go look at the stats. No. It was not that. No. It was that Anarumo's defense really gave Mahomes some problems.
Absolutely.
Regular season and playoffs where he just didn't look quite like himself. And so we have seen teams that, and I think the Bills have been an example. It's why they got rid of Leslie Frazier, where they would have these really good now, again, they've had the problems post-Leslie Frazier, but where they weren't able to adjust for the best quarterbacks in the league, keep the defense at the same level. The Bengals were the opposite. Those were mediocre defenses that gave Josh Allen trouble in the playoffs the 1 year in Buffalo, gave Mahomes trouble. So I think they're exciting. I think they're fun. I don't find them to be a dangerous team.
Open up at Cleveland. If Joe Flacco...
That's the biggest must-win of Week 1. That is the biggest must-win.
That is must-win.
They struggle against the Browns.
I know, but
they struggle against the Browns. They changed everything about their Week 1.
Yeah, they got them in that game.
Yeah.
Last year, the first game, the Browns played Deshaun, who popped his Achilles that game, Jameis and DTR, and they had 259 yards more than Burrow, but the Bengals won.
The first game against the Browns.
The first Browns-Bengals game.
Yeah, they played these teams.
They play the Bengals.
That is a must-win. That's such a must-win, we might not even do it.
Oh, because it's obvious?
It's an obvious must-win.
Obvious must-win.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, Cowboys-Eagles in 8 days. Schottenheimer says Micah would be on a pitch count if he plays, even though he has an ailing back that may or may not be diagnosed as contract disputitis. Here's Schottenheimer. It's not a real thing.
There'll be a ramp-up plan for him, and when he lines up out there to play, do I think he would play 75 plays in every play? Probably not. I don't think that that's real, but I do think that he can be very disruptive, like we all know.
All right, Brew, does Dallas have a shot if Micah's not ready to go at 100% speed?
I love Micah. Micah's fantastic. We all know that. Mm-hmm. With or without Micah, they're getting mollywopped. All right. Micah played in the 2 games against Philly last year where they were outscored 75-13.
Who was their quarterback in those games?
Cooper Rush. Yeah. But the second game when Philly beat them 41-7, Kenny Pickett was their quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, Philly, in Philly, banner, the Super Bowl banner's going up, division rival, the hated Cowboys. They're getting stomped with or without Micah. It'll be a little worse without Micah. But you know what?
Oh, no.
F game incoming.
Wow.
F game incoming. I got a special button for the numerous F games that are going to happen this year for the Cowboys. And Wilds, because I know the Naptown thing really stuck in your craw. For some reason, it didn't work for you. I want to give you the honor of hitting the F game button on the Cowboys for the first time. I double-checked all the wires and everything. It's ready, man. It's ready for you.
This is a little Charlie Brown
and Lucy in the football.
And I'm going to do it again.
Okay.
Hubs, if this doesn't play,
You hit it like a man.
I don't want to.
You didn't hit it.
I don't know
What
what
are you
this is.
doing? You're massaging it. Hit it like a man, and it'll work.
I don't want to do this.
Bro,
I don't know why it's
You know what?
Bro, what?
This is how it's done. Next time, hit the thing.
It's
not gonna
something
break.
From a lighting supply store.
It's not gonna bleed. It's not gonna get hurt. All right. God,
This is the second time in
Oh
2
my
days
God.
Brew has not so subtly questioned your manhood.
Yes.
I'm just saying. Hit the thing.
Yesterday when you announced that Taylor Swift.
Too busy reading the gossip magazines.
You might have to do something in the break.
I am shocked by Brew's answer. I expected you to pick a blowout because you've been hinting at it, and you like that's. But Brew is Mr. Puncher's chance any given Sunday, typically.
Not this one.
Like right, typically. And here's what I will say. Listen, I have the Cowboys finishing last in the division, and so I am not a believer in Dallas this season. However, what I do think is Dak historically has played really well against Philly. Dak's obviously played really well against the division as a whole, but even against Philly, he's 9-4. He's got a good passer rating, around 100. Like he's had success there. I think Philly's defense, particularly pass defense, the pass rush and the back end, is going to be a work in progress. So do I think any shot? Do I think like this could turn into a true shootout? You know what I mean? Where Dak and CD and Pickens are moving up and down the field, and Philly is also moving up and down the field on a bad Cowboys defense? Yeah. And if it's a true shootout, I don't think typically that's not the game Philly likes to play. You know what I mean? Philly likes to control the clock, run the ball. So I think a divisional game when the other team has a high caliber quarterback, which the Cowboys do, you always have a shot. So I disagree with Brew.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing you were thinking. And then I thought to myself, as you were talking, like Philly likes to possess the ball, run the ball down your throat. And that's exactly what they're going to do.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, no. And when we showed Micah on the sideline, you know who was standing next to him that's just now practicing coming off of
Diggs.
Trayvon Diggs. Yeah. Like, this is not just about Micah. I know we're focusing on Micah, but another one of your top defenders may not even be available. And if he is, he's going to be on the pitch count. So it's just not looking good for the Dallas Cowboys come week 1 against the Eagles. And the Eagles, they just feel like they have something yet again to prove. Yeah. Because of all the questions around their quarterback and those who look like this.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, how many more parades do the Eagles need? They're the favorites. They have more people in the top 100. They're the NFC favorites by a lot. Well, Jalen Hurts is in the top 20 again. Like I don't. It's a lot of tiny violins for
Tiny violins?
Oh, wow.
You'll find some local blogger who said that Patrick Mahomes is the second best quarterback of all time. We have a light show and you bring out a bulletin board.
Hold on a second. First of all, are you questioning?
And I'm beloved in Kansas City. I had a call like
That's why you're beloved. Because you're honest.
You keep it real.
That's what the people of Kansas City
They
like.
do.
Honesty
I want you to be
and
real.
integrity. I don't pull punches like you in a fight with Greg. Scared to throw. Alligator arms. It's Arch going off versus Ohio State, and the interesting stat that we don't have video for next.
Let me help you out, Wild. Let me show you how to hit it.
I don't
Hit this back. There you go.
I'm